Hello all you YouTube viewers, once again this is Matt and I have another tip for you guys on these old Toyota Tercel, the four-wheel drives. So I had a problem and I rebuilt the entire motor, did a new cylinder head, carburetor, pretty much everything. Oh, I did the rack and pinion down there too. So anyways, I got past all that and a year went by and I started having some blow-by. And I don't know if, for y'all that don't know what blow-by is, you basically have your PVC valve right at the top. It goes in right there, and then you have another hose right there that basically goes to your air intake, and oil just kind of gets by that. I couldn't find anything. I've asked everyone. I've tried everything. I don't even know what to do. I've actually rigged up a box inside the car, like a little coolant overflow, and that's it down there. It's basically just a coolant overflow that has two hoses that go to it, and I just ran those straight to the top of the valve cover, so at least the oil wasn't going inside the combustion chamber and building up oil carbon residue on my brand new engine with its new cylinders and valves. And you know, I really don't like oil getting on all that, so that's not fun either. That eventually can lead to problems later. So what I did was these two little flaps right here. If you pull those up, this is actually a whole entire box right here, and you can actually take this off and rebuild it and whatever, but you got to drill out the rivets, and you know, I didn't really want to mess with all that. So what I did was I found that if you pull these little two flaps here, this one and this flap here, and you just open them up, there's a little hole. I think it's right there on this side, and on this side it's kind of towards the inside in there, but just jam a little screwdriver through that hole because it plugs up. And actually, when this valve cover isn't upside down and the car's running, the oil can drip back out and then come out of these flaps. But it's supposed to be a sealed box all the way around this whole ridge. So what I did was I got tired of it all, and I put everything into this car, and I really want it to work right. So God knows if this is going to ruin it or not. We'll find out. So I built this little cover here, basically, so the oil can't even get to these flaps. I mean, it can, but it's not going to spray directly up on it from the valves, because when it's running, everything's in here is covered in oil. It's saturated. So what I did was I went to Walmart and I got me it's one of those cheap aluminum foil pans you buy. I tried to buy one of the thicker, heavier duty ones, and I basically just cut it, shoved it right about in there and mashed it down until it just kind of fit in there nice. I put a couple holes here and here so the screw holes will go right through. And then what I did, actually what I'm gonna do, this is the part I haven't done anything yet. Of course this is gonna hit that, and it's gonna hit on your valves and might make some noise. So what I'm gonna do is the holes that these go through here, I'm actually going to put springs around this this bolt and that bolt right here, the two bolts that basically hold this thing up, because I didn't do all three on this thing. I need to cover up that area. I'm actually going to put a spring that only comes up to right about here, halfway up this bolt, and or maybe a little bit more, and then I'm going to have a washer on top of that spring, and that should keep this from going all the way down. It should hold it up right about here. And then whatever the valve cover does, it's a spring, so it'll cushion it to right there or so, probably. Wherever it fits in nice and tight. So this is experimental, but you know what? I bet you that's going to keep that oil from splashing up here, right in here where this whole, I don't even know what to call it. It's a crate case ventilation chamber maybe. And hopefully that'll keep the oil from going straight up on it and maybe cure my blow-by problem. I don't know why these cars do that. I don't know if they changed the oil. They did change the gas. It evaporates at a different temperature, so I had to run an electric fuel pump and put it in the back to make this thing work right, because I guess the gas evaporates at a lower temperature. So maybe this is because of the oil they have nowadays. I'm not really sure. If anybody has a better fix or knows why this problem's happening, that'd be great to hear a reply from you. I'm going to give this a shot and see if it works. And I might do a follow-up video to let y'all know how this turned out. Thanks again, I'm Matt, and feel free to check out my other videos and reply Thanks.